This channel is all about starting over at the age of 53. My name is Kim, 53 years old. I'm a grandmother, mom of 5, and a former corporate employee who literally thought that I'd be working until they literally rolled me out of the chair. Until one thing happened. I got laid off. Did I cry? Absolutely, because the people that I worked with were actually the best that I've ever worked with in my entire 25 to 30 year career. Did I binge on donuts all weekend? Absolutely. Here's what's interesting, and here's what I think is a blessing, is because I actually got notice of my layoff. I got 6 months notice before I actually got laid off. And when I tell you I went through the 5 stages of grief, I completely mastered every single stage. But today is my very first day of being unemployed. And I'm actually excited about it. And who knows if I'm going to go back to corporate America. Of course, I'm still going to look for jobs, see what's out there. And I think I'm still going to keep looking because that's what I've been doing for the last 25, 30 years, is working a job. But now on the flip side, I could be done working corporate America. Maybe YouTube is going to be my new income. So this channel is going to be dedicated to my journey of being unemployed at the age of 53. And even if you are in your 40s or 50s or 60s, you can start over and make an income online. Let me take you back. 6 months ago, I log into my email and I see an email from our CTO, then a calendar invite from HR. Now in the email, I'm reading that if you've received an email, you're going to be transitioned. And of course, instantly, I thought I was laid off that day. But it was actually a blessing because, as I said earlier, they did give us 6 months notice. And yes, it was a shock. Yes, I was upset. Yes, I was mad. But then after some time, after a couple weeks, I started to become grateful because it forced me to look at my current situation and see where I was at as far as retiring. And that's when I realized that I was extremely short on retirement. And I had to look for other ways to supplement the income that I was currently making. And I knew that staying in the 9-to-5 grind wasn't going to save me. And let's be honest, if you're over 40, over 50, over 60, you don't need the Lamborghinis, the private jets, the cool cars, the materialistic stuff. The number one thing that we want is time, security, flexibility, time with our families. And honestly, the number one thing that we want and need is a life that we don't need a vacation from. And if you're anything like me and you've been searching for a side hustle, an income stream, something that you can do on top of your full-time job, you don't need anything that's going to take a lot of time or have you dancing on TikTok, right? We want a business that works without feeling like we need another bachelor's degree. And I've tried a ton of things before. I've tried network marketing. I've tried YouTube. I tried affiliate marketing. And I've tried a whole host of other things. But something finally clicked. And what I realized about affiliate marketing, they give you tiny commissions. Network marketing, they force you to bug your friends and family to join and have home parties. And when I did network marketing, my 5 kids were all under the age of 10. Do you think I was going to have home parties to try to sell a product to strangers? No, that wasn't my vibe. And I even tried to create my own products. And in fact, I have in the past, but I didn't sell a ton. And I tried to create products recently, but then I realized I don't have the time to do. Now, because of the pandemic, people got bored of watching Netflix and streaming and watching movies. They started to watch videos of DIY. And that's when the e-learning industry just started to explode. You could literally learn anything you want online. And in fact, 5 years later, after the pandemic, the e-learning industry is exploding still. And it will continue to do so in the years to come. What I discovered was digital products. And I thought, hold up, this is actually doable for normal people. There's no inventory, no shipping, no income cap, no technical headaches. And for me personally, the system just actually made sense. And this was the first business that actually didn't make me feel dumb. And when I realized that people were actually making $100, $300, $600, $900, $1,400 a day with it, I said to myself, you know what? If they can do it, then I can too. Here's what I wish someone told me sooner. If you're looking to start your own business, start with one income stream. Start with one thing. Don't overwhelm yourself, because that overwhelm is going to be the only thing that's going to prevent you from continuing. And I promise you, if you're familiar with social media, you can make this business. And you know what? Even if you're not, for example, before I did this business, I never was on TikTok. I didn't even have an account. And now I create videos on TikTok and do live streams on TikTok. And I never thought in a million years I would ever be on that app. And you know what's really cool? I thought you had to be in your 20s or 30s to make an income online. And that is entirely not the case. Because the reality is people don't want perfection. They just want you to be real. And if you're in your 50s like me, it doesn't get any realer than our life experience. Now, joining a business and getting involved in a business is one thing. But see, what a lot of people do is they try to do it by themselves. And I've done it in the past. And it's so incredibly hard to stay motivated when you're the only one in the house that's doing the business. So it is absolutely vital that you join a community of people that are going to support you. They want you to win. They want you to achieve your goals. And most importantly, a community that will answer your question when you have questions. That was my biggest thing when I started online several years ago, is I didn't have that. If I had a question, I had no one to ask. And I know that delayed my success. A community is here to give you shortcuts as well as support and training. And if you're brand new, you need that step-by-step training on how to get started so you can be successful. Now, I don't know your situation. Maybe you just got laid off as well. Maybe you are short for retirement. Maybe you have kids in college like me and you're dealing with student loan. You are not in your situation because the universe wants you to be punished. The universe is positioning you because it knows you deserve something greater than just a 9-to-5 job. And to be, at least that's how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at this layoff as a lesson because it's forcing me to step outside my comfort zone and continue something that I've been passionate about for a very long time. I just didn't have the time for it because I was too busy working 50 hours a week. Starting an online business isn't a setback, it's a setup. If you are over 50 and want to check out what I'm up to, even if you're scared, you're confused, you have no idea where to start, I have a free masterclass that you can watch and you can get all the details. No hype. It's just a simple plan that works. So if you're interested, you can grab it. The link is in the description below. And something else, if you have any questions, my plan is to do a live stream on this channel Monday through Friday as well. I'd love for you to hop on in and ask me any questions and we can chit chat about what we're up to. Thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next video.